Hi. So I have this area over here next to the CNC machine, and it's sort of been slowly building up with more and more junk, and it's gotten really cluttered. It's the space right next to the CNC, so it would be nice to be able to work on the CNC table and have all of the jigs and tools and router bits and all the things that go with the CNC organized and in a place where I can get at everything and know where everything is really quickly to make the work on the CNC a lot easier. So that's what I like to do, is build a system for this wall. And the other thing I'd like to make, that I've always wanted to do, is to make a system for storing all of the nuts and bolts and screws in the shop. Right now those things are kind of scattered about in different places, and it's always time consuming to find the fastener that I need when I need it, and it'd be nice if it was all in one place in the shop. So the thing I've been thinking about making is something that hangs off the French cleat system, and to make something that's a series of boxes, and in those boxes are small drawers. So the drawers can be for all the small things like screws and bolts and nuts, but also the router bits and the small parts that go with the CNC machine. And then between each box, make bigger spaces where I can hang and house some of the bigger jigs for the CNC machine and the camera. So it becomes much more of a organized storage system along this wall.
In making the boxes, I started by laying 4x8 sheets of plywood onto the CNC machine, and I could cut the grooves for the drawers to slide in and the dado at the top and bottom of the box pieces. What I ended up doing was only cutting those things on the CNC machine on the full sheet of plywood, then cutting the parts for the boxes out of those sheets on the table saw. I know I could have cut these sheets down on the CNC machine, and that certainly could have been a good option. I ended up not doing that, I think, for a lot of little reasons. One being that once the pieces are cut apart, it becomes hard to hold them on the table while they're being cut. If I had a big vacuum table, that would have been more of an option. I think when I was originally thinking about this, I was going to cut the parts first on the table saw, then cut the grooves and the dados on the CNC machine. I ended up flipping that around. So I guess I never got the table saw out of my head. So I could make sure the drawers are going to fit into the grooves on the plywood sides. And I could pull the sheet off and clean up the plastic nails and take the sheet over to the table saw. Also, just cutting long, straight cuts on the CNC machine never quite makes sense to me. I would rather do those kind of cuts on the table saw. Also, I could have a sheet being cut on the CNC while I was working on another sheet at the table saw. So the size of the boxes are based on a 4x8 sheet of plywood. So they're 4 feet tall and 16 inches square in plan. I could cut the 4x8 sheet into 3 16-inch strips, then cut those strips in half and get the sides for the boxes. I then cleaned up the grooves for the drawers with some sandpaper and a thin piece of wood. This went really fast. And I could clean those out. Then I made the tops and bottoms for the boxes, and that was just a matter of cutting out pieces for those. And I could start to put the boxes together. So I put glue in the dado at the top and bottom. The top and bottom were a little bit different in that at the top, the dado was the width of the plywood top, and the plywood just fit into that space. But at the bottom, the dado was the width of the plywood bottom plus one drawer slide slot. So I would attach the bottom flush to the bottom of the sides, leaving a space for the drawer to slide in right at the bottom. And once the side was together, I could figure out how big the backs needed to be, which was about 16 inches wide. I could attach the backs. So the backs will make the box rigid. But the back doesn't need to be very thick. So I think it's less than a 1/4 inch plywood. And I can attach that with staples and some glue. I would do one of the short sides and get that flush with the bottom. Then I could do the long sides, getting the box square with the back and straightening out the sides with the strength of the back. Because the drawers were going to slide in grooves along the sides of the boxes, the sides had to be fairly straight so that the drawers would fit but not be too tight or too loose. I could clean up the top with a flush trimming bit. And I made sure the box was going to fit where it was going to go. And I could make the cleats that will go on the back of the boxes to hold them to the cleat system on the wall. I can cut a strip, then cut that strip in half with a 45-degree angle, which will then give me 2 cleats. And I can cut those down to the right length and attach them to the back of the box. Because the cleat's going to take all the weight of the box and everything in the box, I wanted to attach the cleat into the frame of the box and not just to the back. And now a word from the Maker's Mob. Being part of the Maker's Mob, we have partnered with Wood Owl to give one lucky winner a 3-year membership to the Maker's Mob and 10 Wood Owl bits. If you'd like to sign up and find out more about this, I will leave a link in the description below.
So the first thing to do is to clean up this area so I'll have space to put in the new system as I build it.
I can bring my first box around and make sure it's mostly going to work. Because I was going to hang the boxes apart with a space between them to be used for larger storage, I wanted to make a French cleat system along the sides of the boxes. So I cut out a bunch of strips from some 1/2-inch plywood and cut those strips in half with a 45-degree angle. So I'd have a 1/2-inch French cleat system on the sides of the boxes. Now, with all those strips, I can cut them in half, and that makes them easier to work with. So once they're in half, I can then cut them to the length that they'll be on the sides of the boxes. And I made one shelf spacer piece to go between the boxes, which helped me figure out the location for the cleats, as I wanted the top shelf to be flush with the top of the boxes.
In cutting out my spacer piece, I figured out where the top cleat needs to go to make that flush at the top. And what I figured out is the bottom of this top cleat needs to be 46¼ inches from the bottom. So I can then divide that by 5 and get 6 cleats. And if I divide that by 5, I get 9¼ inches, which was kind of nice that I got a somewhat round number. And then I can now attach 6 cleats. They're evenly spaced on the side on both sides of the boxes.
The first set of cleats on the first box I laid out by measuring then making sure they were square to the box with a square, and doing that for each cleat, and attaching the cleats to the side of the box. I had thought this would be the way I would do all of the cleats, but I realized pretty quickly I could streamline this. So once I had the first set of cleats laid out, I could make a jig based on those cleats. So I cut out some strips of plywood and laid those along the cleats that I had attached, then ran a piece between all of those shorter pieces and made a jig that I could use to lay out the cleats on each side of all of the boxes. Once I had the jig made, there was no measuring or making sure things were square. I just had to lay the jig down, then lay the cleats along the jig and just attach them. So the speed was really just how fast could I get the glue onto the cleat and how fast could I get the nails in. As I had 6 cleats times 2 sides times 12 boxes, I think that's 144 cleats to put on. I figured out that I needed a 3/4 inch spacer at the bottom of the box so that it would hang vertically off of the cleat at the top of the box. You can see the entire process here of putting the cleats on and hanging the box. The upper boxes, the cleat is a little bit lower on the box so that it hangs in the right spot, but that should work okay. And the last box going in. So the main structure is in place. And I want to make the shelves that go between the boxes, and this will help sort of lock the system together. So I had an extra sheet of 3/4 inch plywood, and I can cut those into the pieces that'll be the spacer shelves for the system. I'm just cutting out squares. To have these pieces sit nicely with the French cleat system, I found a 45-degree dovetail router bit, and that'll cut a 45-degree slot into the side of the panel, and that will fit into the French cleat. So there's one of those slots on each side of the shelf. So as more weight's put on the shelf, it'll lock the system together even tighter. I had an extra piece of MDF, and I thought it'd be nice to make some shelves with backs, as things won't fall down off the back of the shelf, and it'll give the shelf a little more strength. And I cut the 45-degree dovetail into the back of those shelves with the backs. I think this column of shelves I made slightly wider so my small compressor will sit on the floor in that slot. I got the boxes very close to their final location when I first hung them, but with these spacer pieces I can now get them placed exactly. I'm hoping these shelves will also help in the rigidity of the sides of the boxes so that they won't bow in or out too much with the shelves. And I'm figuring as I figure out what's going to go in these spaces, I can move these shelves around to get different heights of space. I think for many of these, I'm going to be hanging long things in those spaces, so I'll need lots of height. I'm thinking too, I can make sort of custom shelves that might have little cubbies carved into them, or shelves for very specific things. So I'll end this video here. The main structure is built and seems to be working. And I've made a few drawers. And those seem to work. So what I'd like to do is, in the next video, talk about how the drawers are made and the things that go in the drawers, and figuring out how to hang and store the things in the bigger spaces. So we'll do that next time. Thanks for watching.